You're listening to the International Moving Podcast, your guide to moving to another country, brought to you by SDC International Shipping, LA's finest. An international move is exciting. It's a time to start over, establish a new business maybe, reestablish family ties, or retire where your budget will do more for you. Please enjoy today's episode, and if you have any questions about your international move, give us a call at 888-779-3962. That's 888-779-3962. All right, welcome back, everyone. This is Jim for SDC International Shipping. Thanks for joining me for today's podcast episode. Today, we are going to look at one of the modernized areas and cities in the Middle East. I'm talking about Bahrain. Now, I know a lot of you may not be familiar with this area of the world, with the Middle East. I know I wasn't until, I would say, maybe 24 to 36 months ago, I really began to study where some of these Middle Eastern cities were located. And that's due to the fact that so many expatriates from all over the world were deciding to relocate to these cities in the Middle East because, number one, they are completely modernized cities, brand new, state-of-the-art everything. The amount of money that has been invested into building up these areas is just incredible. It's just off the charts. And when you compare what's available there to other parts of the world currently, you can see there's opportunities for business, there's opportunities for professionals, and for retirees also, depending on what your needs are and whatever it is that you're looking for. Now, recently, a friend of mine made a video. She posted it on YouTube about what it was like to spend time in Qatar. Qatar is just another one of these modernized areas of the world. The World Cup, of course, was held there recently, and she was talking about how perfect and new and fresh everything was there. Much like Bahrain and other areas that we can talk about, Dubai and other areas that a lot of people from all over the world are deciding to make this transition, this kind of move. And I mean, a move to anywhere is a big deal. You really have to study your destination area of the world and look into the details of things such as visas, tax benefits, cost of living. All of those things go into the planning process. And so that's why I enjoy sharing some of this information about different parts of the world, because it may act as a seed for you to eventually go ahead and make that international relocation. Of course, if that's something that you're interested in doing, don't forget us here at SDC International Shipping. This is something that we do every day, week in and week out. We relocate people to places all over the world, many different countries. And so one of the other things, too, I wanted to add was that having spent so much time over the last few years studying some of these newer destinations, one of the things that I discovered was, and this is basically common sense, but sometimes you really don't think in the details that you should when you're examining things. You just look at things on a surface level. And one of the things I realized was that many of these expat websites, especially some of the largest ones, I'm not going to name any names, but I thought it was interesting on how they named certain locations better than others. And when I look at different websites and different organizations and different groups that rate the best places for expats to relocate to, it suddenly occurred to me that certain groups of people had coupled with real estate developers in those countries. And so they were especially promoting those countries because they were working together with real estate developers to sell condominiums and townhouses and homes and everything that's attached to that. So expat communities offer a real money-making opportunity for real estate developers to be involved in. And unfortunately, when that happens, I believe that sometimes certain facts and figures are sort of glossed over because the end result, the money-making angle, if you will, of certain groups is to sell you real estate. And so That's why I noticed that why are certain countries or areas mentioned on certain expat sites and completely ignored on others. And the more I looked into it, it was because they do not have any connection with real estate developers at those locations right now. And so there's really not that extra drive to promote that area of the world. And I really thought that that was disappointing. I mean, I should have figured, right? I should have figured that, money kind of is the undercurrent that flows through everything. And I understand that absolutely. People have to make money, and there's nothing wrong with that. But just know that if you're going to an expat site, realize that some of the areas that are being promoted as places that you absolutely should invest in, buy a home in, well, they have connections to the real estate developers in those areas. And so they have the incentive to make those recommendations. But today, we're talking about Bahrain. Here at SDC International Shipping, of course, we're not connected to real estate developers. So I can just tell you as I see it, looking at these different areas of the world, what I think about them. And of course, when it comes time to make your actual move, you can reach out to us here. You can connect with us at our website, sdcinternationalshipping.com. You can fill out a form and get a free quote. You can call us at our toll-free number, 877-339-0267, and you can speak with someone live and get questions about whatever it is that you want to look into. At SDC International Shipping, we take care of the entire household moving process. And the difference between shipping, let's say regular shipping, where everything is in a box, secured, and put on a boat or a plane and sent over, and household shipping or moving is that we're dealing with some potentially very delicate items. They're not just boxes that can be dropped one on top of another and just move from point A to point B. There's a lot of services and companies that do that, and there's nothing wrong with that. But when it comes time to move your household, you want to connect with a experienced international household mover. Those things: number one, experience; number two, it has to be household, not just shipping, but household shipping. And international, of course, meaning that there are networks that company, like SDC, is already connected with, working with day in and day out throughout the world. And that way everything is covered. All the logistic hurdles are taken care of for you, and you can have a seamless, enjoyable experience relocating from wherever you are here in the United States to wherever you're going to. So let's say we're located in today, you're an individual, you're located in Los Angeles, you're thinking about moving to Bahrain. I guess you can be located anywhere. I'm just using California as an example. What are some of the things you have to be aware of? What are some of the requirements? Well, number one, let's just start with passport validity. Before planning to go to Bahrain, you have to ensure that your passport remains valid for, at least 6 months beyond your intended stay. This is the fundamental requirement to meet the entry criteria. Now, there are various types of visas that you can apply for. There's a tourist visa. If you're visiting Bahrain for leisure or short-term purposes, to scope out the land, if you will, then you can apply for a tourist visa. And this can typically be obtained online prior to, of course, your arrival. And then you need your valid passport, proof of returning flight, and hotel booking. That is your tourist visa. There's also business visas. Now, there's no shortage of expats relocating to Bahrain because Bahrain is just a business-friendly, investment-friendly area of the world. Everything is new. If you've been to that part of the world before and you can compare it to, let's say, a U.S. city, you're not going to see, homeless people all over the street. Unfortunately, that's not an issue that they have there. These are well-funded cities where the people that live there are, in general, doing quite well. So they don't have a lot of the issues that we're familiar with the typical city here in the United States. So if you're going there for business and you're traveling there for business purposes, then maybe you'll have a business visa. That will definitely be necessary. Then you have the basic requirements, like an employer's letter and a no objection certification, also called an NOC, and you would get that from a Bahrain sponsor. Those may be required. So you can be sponsored by a business that's already existing there. I've had a few people that I've move to this area of the world. Some of them are in Dubai right now. They love it there. They've traveled all throughout the world. They decide to make Dubai their home for basically the same reasons why people are moving to Bahrain, because of the opportunity that's there. She's involved in real estate. She's doing really well. She doesn't want to leave there anytime soon. But how she received that connection there was talking to someone there, expressing interest in working in that industry, and then being sponsored by someone from that place. So it would work the same way with Bahrain, where you would, if you're going there for business purposes, you're thinking about opening a business there or just seeing about the possibilities, you can get an no objection certificate from a Bahrainian sponsor that you can meet online and communicate online with through email. It's easier today than it's ever been before. Then there's work visas. If you intend on working in Bahrain, you have to obtain a valid work permit and an employment contract. You need that in place before your arrival. So if, in other words, you go there as a tourist and you decide that you want to work there, then that's considered to be illegal. I actually think that they said there's serious consequences to it. I don't doubt it. I think you might end up in jail, not for the rest of your life, of course, but they take different things much more seriously in certain parts of the world than we do over here in the West. Now, they do have visa exemptions. Citizens of what's called the Gulf Cooperation Council, and these are countries that include Kuwait, Oman, and the UAE, United Arab Emirates, then you can enjoy visa-free entry into Bahrain. And of course, Bahrainian citizens have a visa-free or visa on arrival access to, as of 2024, 91 countries. So that just simplifies travel for a Bahrainian national. And then there's things like a visa validity and extensions. So you want to ensure that your visa remains valid for the duration of your intended stay there. A lot of people, expats especially, visit these countries on a tourist visa first, and they just let you know that make sure you don't overstay your visa deadline expiration date, because that can lead to fines and deportation or other legal problems. So if you need to extend your visa beyond its original expiration date, it is possible that you can apply for an extension. However, this has to be done before the expiration date. You can't apply for an extension after it's already expired. So yeah, moving from people who are moving now from Los Angeles to Bahrain in 2024, many of them have said, and again, you can go online and read discussion boards of people who are moving to any part of the world, what they're experiencing, what their thoughts are, the pros and cons. It's different for everyone, of course, which is why you really have to go and see it for yourself. But they say that Bahrain, for them, holds promise of new opportunities, financial opportunities, and the ability to enjoy advantages such as visa-free travel, tax benefits, residency opportunities, and not the least of which is a much higher quality of life. And so they said it's a very enticing destination for people who are here in the United States of America. All right, let's go a little bit further. Let's look at some of the advantages that people have talked about. Number one was that visa-free travel. So Bahrain offers a visa-free access to other destinations once you're there, including places like the UK, China, Hong Kong, Singapore. And so this facilitates a very convenient path to international travel. And if you're going there for business and you're looking to expand, this is something that is very enticing. Tax benefits also. Number two, one of Bahrain's most appealing features is its favorable tax environment. And it's this way for a purpose. There are other places like Puerto Rico, which are growing quickly for businesses because of tax advantages. And I remember years ago, people were complaining that there were so many jobs that were being lost here in the United States because of high taxes, and as compared with other countries. For example, some large companies relocated to Ireland instead of staying here on the east coast of the United States because of the tax benefits. So the what's known as the Kingdom of Bahrain, we just call it Bahrain, but it's known as officially the Kingdom of Bahrain. Again, an island country between Saudi Arabia. You can check it out on the map. And I think it's between, let me just check this out quickly, between Saudi Arabia and Qatar. So if you're looking at the map, you can see it kind of floating there right in the middle between the two. Okay, let's take a look here. Okay, so there's no income, property, corporate wealth, or inheritance taxes there. Let that sink in for a minute. There's no income tax. There's no property tax. There's no corporate tax. There's no wealth or inheritance taxes. Can you see why that, especially if people have some money, that they would consider this a very real possible destination going forward? And so having this kind of advantageous tax structure not only boosts disposable income, but it also encourages business investment and growth, and that's what they're trying to do right now. Will this last forever? Probably not, but I mean, when you're planning ahead for the future, what are you looking for? Are you looking for forever? Are you looking for, well, we'll see how the next several years goes, and if you're not happy there, you can always relocate somewhere else. Okay, next is residence opportunities. Bahrain provides a pathway to residency through financial investment by actively managing and investing. I think the base is 1.2 million into a Bahrain-based business and employing at least one local employee. You can apply or qualify for residency. So again, 1.2 million may sound like a lot if you're looking at your individual income, but when we're talking about a business, a corporation, even a smaller corporation, that investment amount of money is not really that much money anymore like it used to be. And only needing to employ one local employee, well, that's pretty good. And that does open the door for, again, long-term stability, and it will be easier to integrate within that community in that part of the world. Next is quality of life. So it's been said that with a stable political and economic landscape, Bahrain offers residents a high quality of life with its modern infrastructure, extra efficient healthcare system, and also it's known for its prestigious educational institutions. All of those things come together to provide people with a comfortable and, if not enriching, lifestyle or living experience. Additionally, Bahrain's safety and security measures ensure peace of mind for expats and their families. Next, we have to talk about the location. It is considered to be a strategic location because it's situated in the heart of the Gulf region. Bahrain serves as a strategic gateway between East and West, and its central location facilitates easy access to global markets. It's an ideal base for an international kind of business or internationally based entrepreneurs. Also, its position as a financial hub also offers additional appeal for professionals seeking career advancements and opportunities. So maybe you're not in that entrepreneurial space, but you are a professional and you're looking to work for a corporation. Many international corporations are building there and moving their business operations there. Maybe not their main operation, but they have an operation there. So that does open the door for people who are looking for career opportunity advancements. Next, cultural diversity. People talk a lot about diversity today, and Bahrain is known for having a rich cultural heritage and a very diverse type of population. It's known as a melting pot of cultures because of all the expats who are coming in. So from the traditional type of places and locations and communities, modern art galleries. There's just a lot of things to choose from there. Number 7, the economy. Bahrain boasts a dynamic and diversified economy driven by sectors such as finance, technology, and tourism. Expats who are relocating there can benefit from, again, career opportunities and the possibility of entrepreneurial ventures. The area's pro-business policies and the supportive ecosystem that's there are very conducive to growth and innovation. I remember someone starting a business here in my hometown and then complaining about how many hoops they had to jump through with the local city just to get the business started, and all these compliances and all of these things. And the person looked at me and they said, it's almost like they don't want you to open a business here. Well, it's the exact opposite of it there. All right, let's see what we have here. Lifestyle amenities was the last thing that I found talking about Bahrain, and of course, certainly not the least. So we can look beyond economic opportunities, and we can look at something like just the day-to-day lifestyle amenities that the residents there enjoy. The first thing that I saw that people were talking about online about lifestyle in Bahrain was the pristine beaches. Beaches and luxury resorts, busy shopping malls, cultural festivals. There was just no short of leisure activities to enjoy. So whether you like, water sports or Middle Eastern cuisine or anything else, there's something there for just about everyone. So to summarize it, the advantages of moving to Bahrain in 2024 are multifaceted. From things like visa-free travel, tax benefits, residency opportunities, quality of life, the strategic location, the diversity of people, economic prosperity, lifestyle amenities. I mean, it's a pretty impressive list, so I can see why people are thinking about going there. So I think that really covers Bahrain. Now, at SDC International Shipping, let me just finish today by saying that we understand the intricacies of moving across borders. And what we like to do is make the process as seamless and as stress-free as possible. We know that because we've done this for so long now, for so many years at SDC, we understand that, sure, when you're making this big of a commitment to move, whether we're talking about, like today we talked about Bahrain, whether you're talking about going somewhere closer like Mexico, Panama, Costa Rica, any number of places we can think of, even just north of the border to Canada, that it involves a lot of moving parts. And so whether we're talking about securing your new residence wherever you're going to be living, whether it's temporary or permanent, and getting the electric turned on, getting your bank account, getting all of that done, we just want you to know that the logistics that are involved in the actual moving process, that's one of the things that you're not going to have to stress over. And that's why you want to have professionals handling that for you. Also, as part of your planning process, I suggest just the basics. Make sure you talk to a certified accountant who understands international moves and tax benefits, tax liabilities, tax situations, because most people who are living in other countries are going to maintain their U.S. citizenship instead of becoming a citizen of another country. And even if your goal is to give up your American citizenship, it's not something that happens overnight. So you do want to be aware of what is required of you tax-wise, still filing taxes, even though you may have a residency in another country. So talk to an expert on that. And I guess the lesson here is that when you look at the counsel that you need, the people that you need to talk to people who are expert in that area. And just know that SDC International Shipping, we're here to take care of all the logistics that go into the actual relocation of your household goods and your belongings, making sure that they arrive at the destination in the same shape that they left here, your current home. So All right, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed the episode. If you have, please go ahead, share it with a friend. And if you haven't been to our website yet, sdcinternationalshipping.com. This is Jim. Thanks for listening, and I will see you in the next episode.